everyone. Happy Women's History Month. My name is Sahra Nguyen. I'm the founder of Nguyen Coffee Supply. We are a specialty Vietnamese coffee importing and roasting company based here in Brooklyn, New York. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. If you're joining us, drop us in the comments and let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know what city and what state you're hanging out. All right, so as I mentioned right before we got started, my name is Sahra Nguyen. I'm the founder of Nguyen Coffee Supply. We are a specialty Vietnamese coffee importing and roasting company. Hey Justin, hi again. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 different styles of Vietnamese coffee, all with the Fiend Filter. I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Vietnamese Fiend drip coffee. And then I'm also going to show you how to make a Vietnamese egg coffee. Cheers. And I'm also going to show you how to make a Vietnamese coconut coffee. So we have about 45 minutes, 60 minutes together. So it's going to be about a 60 minute program, so get ready to hang. All right. Hillary, if you're joining, I have my iMessage open, Hillary, in case you want to drop me any notes. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a traditional Vietnamese Fiend drip coffee. But I'm actually going to brew our Fiend drip today over ice, right? So before I grab the ice cube, I just want to show you our Fiend Filter. So let me know in the comments if you've ever used a Fiend Filter before to make coffee. This is a Fiend Filter. It is a traditional Vietnamese brew tool made of stainless steel. I'm going to walk you through all the parts. This is what's called a filter plate. Hi Jane. This is a filter plate. It has lots of tiny little holes on the bottom and it goes right on top of your cup. This right here is the brew chamber. It also has holes on the bottom and it goes on top of the plate. And then we put our coffee inside the brew chamber, the gravity press on top, and the cap on top. How do you spell the filter type? P-H-I-N, Fiend, P-H-I-N. Hi everyone. So if you're just joining us, we're gonna be making 3 different types of Vietnamese coffee today. All right, so the very first drink we're gonna make is we're gonna make a Fiend drip coffee over ice. So I'm gonna grab an ice cube. All right, so I have my ice cube here, or you can put, ice cubes inside your cup. Thank you. Okay, so I popped my ice cube inside. On the side, I have a kettle of hot water going. Oopsies. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments and I'll try my best to keep an eye on your questions while I'm also demoing. All right, so we put the ice inside. So I'm making a Fiend drip over ice today. If you don't want it over ice, you could do it hot without ice. Today, I want it over ice. That way, when the coffee is dripping into the cup, it cools instantly, and then I'm gonna end up with a cup of iced coffee. All right. The plate goes on top. This is the brew chamber. It goes right on top of the filter plate. So the blend that I'm using today is called Loyalty. It is our best-selling blend. It's a blend of single origin, Robusta, and Arabica from Vietnam. Justin, we currently source from several farms actually right now. Yeah, we've been growing. I've been using the Fiend Filter, so I actually just pre-ground my coffee beans earlier so that I can get straight to brewing. A standard rule of thumb with the Fiend Filter is using a ratio of 1:2. So this is a 4-ounce Fiend Filter, meaning it holds 4 ounces of water. So 1:2. So if it's 4 ounces, we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of coffee. All right. So remember, standard ratio 1:2, and then feel free to add more or less depending on how strong you like your coffee. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons. And just for a frame of reference, 1 tablespoon of coffee is about 7 grams. And in a double shot of espresso, it's gonna be around, anywhere between 17 to 20 grams of coffee. So with 2 tablespoons, you're getting 14 grams of coffee. The grind size, great question, Matt. So for the grind size, if you're grinding your own coffee at home and you have a grinder, just check your grind manual, your grinder manual. Look for where it's pointing to the pour over setting, right? So you want to kind of aim for the pour over and then go a little bit more fine, right? Start there. And then of course, as you're dialing in your Fiend Filter, I'm going to show you some of the time metrics you can look out for. Yeah, you got to play the grind size because every grinder is different honestly, but I'm going to show you how you can dial it in looking out for time metrics. So start with the pour over grind size, something pretty fine, but it's going to look like rough sand. I can't really show you. Let me try to show you. See if you can see this. Can you see that? It's like rough sand, so not too fine, right? A little bit finer than a pour over, but not too coarse. Otherwise, the coffee will just flow straight through. All right, so we just put 2 tablespoons in. After you put 2 tablespoons in, you want to shake it out a little bit so that the coffee is level. You want the coffee to be level so that when you pour hot water in, it doesn't slope to one side of the brew chamber and it's equally distributed across the top. All right, we have the ice inside, remember, and then I put the gravity press right on top. Now our hot water over here just finished boiling. So you're gonna add a little bit of hot water first to cover the gravity press by about 1/2 inch, and you wanna let it bloom for about 45-60 seconds. The bloom really only is possible if you're using fresh coffee. Sometimes you may try to do a bloom with maybe like kind of old or pre-ground coffee and it doesn't actually bloom. It's because the coffee is already degassed over time. So just keep in mind that if it's not blooming, it's okay. It's probably just pre-ground coffee that's been ground for a while. All right. So now while this is starting to bloom, it's already starting to drip slowly. Okay, so time metrics for people who are dialing your Fiend Filter at home. As you're playing around with the grind size, there are 2 time metrics you can aim for. You want to aim for the first drip of coffee to fall by the 2 minutes, right? By the first 2 minutes, right? It could be, way before or close to it, but that's kind of the area you want to aim for. If it's not dripping by the first 2 minutes, then it's probably too fine or it's too much coffee. And then you kind of want to aim for the final drip to be around 5-6 minutes, depending on how much coffee or water you're using. If it's anything faster than that, then the grind size is probably too coarse. If it's taking way longer, like it's taking 10 minutes or 12 minutes, right, to drip, then it's probably too fine and it's too tight in there. So now we're gonna add the rest of the coffee all the way to the top. So again, if you're dialing your grind size or you're dialing your Fiend Filter at home, you want to start with a fine setting and then aim for the time metrics of the first drip by or before 2 minutes and the final drip by or around the 5 to 6 minute mark. If it's too fast, then it's too coarse, so dial it back a little bit to make it a little bit more fine. If it's taking way too long, then it's too fine and make it a little bit more coarse. So you gotta play around with the grind size at home. Okay. So I filled my Fiend Filter, and as you can see, it's brewing over ice. So sometimes if I'm in the mood for an iced coffee, I like to brew my Fiend Filter over ice so that the coffee cools as it's dripping, right? If you don't want ice, you can just brew it without ice and have a hot cup of coffee. Then you want to place the cap right on top. Okay. So this is going to be the first drink that we're making together. It's a Fiend Drip Coffee over ice. While this is brewing, we're actually going to get started on the next drink, which is a coconut coffee. Let's see. Okay, so for a Viennese coconut coffee, we have a few ingredients. We have, unsweetened coconut milk, right? And it's really important that you can use the coconut milk in the can and not in a carton because you want all of the coconut meat and the coconut fat that's inside the can. So I like to use this brand. It's just a Thai Kitchen Organic unsweetened coconut milk because you're gonna add sweetener or sweetened condensed milk later on. You want to kind of shake it up because you know that there's a lot of fat and cream inside. Yep. Okay. How's our Fiend looking? It's looking good. All right. So I have a little bowl here to mix our coconut cream. Okay. Where's my can opener? All right. Are there any questions so far in the comments? I'm just gonna open up my can of coconut milk. Okay. And the best way to mix up all the coconut fat is just to dump it into a bowl. So just be very careful and don't cut yourself. Okay. So you're gonna see, I'll show you, but there's a lot of like coconut fat in here. Oh yeah. You wanna get all that fat. Okay. I'm gonna toss this can or recycle it. Okay, so right here, it's too bright, but this is basically the coconut milk, all the chunks of the coconut fat. There is a Nguyen IG. Can you write it for me, Matt, in the comments? It's at Nguyen Coffee Supply. Nguyen. Thank you so much, Alex. All right, so when you use coconut milk from a can, you can see all the delicious, fatty coconut milk, cream, meat, fat. So you want to just take a whisk or a fork and you want to just mix it up. All right. Want to mix it all up. And you're not going to use like all of this coconut milk. So if you're going to make a coconut milk drink, it's great to kind of, you know, make it prepared when you have some guests over so you don't end up wasting the can. Otherwise, you'll just open the can and end up using maybe like 1.5 to 2 ounces. So I guess while we're mixing this, I'll share a little bit about why I started Nguyen Coffee Supply. You know, I am a first-generation Vietnamese American. My parents are immigrants. They were refugees from the Vietnam War. They came here around 1980, and then I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. So I grew up just loving Vietnamese coffee and Vietnamese coffee culture and the Fiend brewing method. And around a few years ago, you know, I just noticed that there was an emergence of Vietnamese food and culture in New York, where we're based, and also a huge interest in Vietnamese coffee culture. But there really wasn't anybody offering a fresh roasted, single origin specialty Vietnamese coffee bean. I couldn't find it anywhere. So that's when I decided to start importing green coffee beans and roasting myself in Brooklyn, New York. What's cooking? All right, if you're just joining us, we're making 3 different styles of Vietnamese coffee drinks today. The first one is actually brewing right now. It's a classic Vietnamese Fiend drip coffee. It's really popular in Vietnam, hot or over ice. If you want it hot, then you could just brew it like this. But tonight I want an ice drink. So if you want an ice drink, you can add an ice cube or lots of ice cubes inside the glass so that as it's dripping, it's gonna cool as it drips. All right. Okay, I'm mixing this up. So you want to just kind of mix up the coconut cream from the can to get all the little clumps out. But you know, you're gonna end up with some coconut clumps, and that's totally fine. It's really smooth and delicious. It gives your drink a nice creamy texture. And it's all natural coconut milk, so I'm sure there are a lot of benefits in here. All right, whisk it up. If you have any questions about Vietnamese coffee or about Nguyen Coffee Supply or about the Fiend brewing method, feel free to drop it in the comments. All right. Okay. All right, so this is looking, I can't really show you, but it looks pretty good. Like the clumps are mostly gone. What are the Nguyen coffee varieties? Great question, Matt. Thank you. All right, so we currently have 3 inaugural blends. I'll show you. put this down real quick. All right, where are my other blends? Thank you. And this is a great segue for me to talk about the different varieties as well. Okay, so the first blend this is Loyalty. It's our best-selling blend, and it's a blend of Arabica and Robusta beans. Our web address is wincoffeesupply.com. This is Moxie. Yay, awesome. This is our 100% single origin Arabica from Vietnam. It's gonna be, if you're into like a more sweet, fruity profile for your coffee, this is gonna be probably the blend for you. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have True Grit, which is our strongest coffee, and it's made with 100% P-Berry Robusta, which is gonna be a very, very bold, nutty, dark chocolatey, very robust blend. It's because it's made of P-Berry Robusta. And the main differences between Arabica and Robusta is that Robusta beans naturally have 2 times more caffeine content than Arabica beans. And they also have 60% less fats and less sugars than Arabica beans, which is why you're gonna get more of like the really bold, nutty profile. And of course, the stronger caffeine content as well. So these are our 3 blends. Web address, can someone drop the web address for John? Oh, it's NGUYEN coffeesupply.com. Sorry, the letters are backwards. That's a good point. That's my dad, Nguyen _88. Okay. Can someone drop the address? Let's see. Here. Dad, can you drop the address in the comments, please? All right, so where was I? So those are our 3 blends. And to someone earlier, they asked, thank you so much, Christina. Someone asked, you know, how do we process coffee at the farms? So our Arabica beans are our full wash process, and our Robusta beans are our natural process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How do I pin this comment? Pin. Great. Thank you, Alex. All right. Where was I? Okay. So, I was just, our first drink is done. All right. Let's check this out. This is our first drink. It is, so once you're done, the cap becomes a coaster. So you want to just flip it. And be careful, it can be hot, so hold it by the plate like this. And you can put it right on top of the cap. And this is our first drink. It is Fiend Drip Coffee over ice. Let's try it. Wow, so good. It's super refreshing. It's the perfect amount of dilution with the ice underneath. That's really delicious. And if you want to add some milk, this is when you can add some milk, some cream and sugar, totally flex. Because we're having 2 really, really sweet, creamy drinks after this, I'm gonna just enjoy this one black. All right. Oh, that's our first drink. Actually, I forgot to introduce our 2 other Fiend Filters. So this is a 4-ounce Fiend Filter that we're using. It makes a perfect single serving of coffee. So if you just want to make 1 cup of coffee that comes out to being 4 to 8 ounces, go for the 4-ounce Fiend Filter. This is our medium-sized Fiend Filter. It is 12 ounces. It's great for making multiple servings for yourself or for your friends and family if you want to share, right? This is a great one. This is a 12-ounce Fiend Filter. So if you're using a tablespoon, you want to start with 6 tablespoons of coffee inside the 12-ounce Fiend Filter. And then we have our biggest Fiend Filter. This is our 24-ounce Fiend Filter. Whoopsies. 24-ounce. This is great for batch brewing, or if you have like a brunch party or a Fiend party, you can make probably enough coffee for like 10 to 12 people with the 24-ounce. Right? Awesome. So all 3 Fiend Filters and all of our coffees are available on our website. And what's great about the Fiend Filter is that we don't even use a paper filter. So it's 0 paper waste, and it's super easy to clean and use. Okay, so those are our Fiend filters. So this is our first drink. Cheers. Fiend. All right, so we're gonna go on to our next drink. So our next drink that we're making right now is a coconut coffee. But first I need to clean our Fiend filter. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to clean. You just kind of like dump the coffee grinds, or if you wanna, you know, reuse it later. You can use the coffee grinds in soil, in a scrub, okay? I'm gonna show you how quick and easy it is to clean your Fiend filter. So just dump the coffee grinds, and then you're just gonna give it a little rinse with water. Coffee does have oils, so you can use a little bit of a little bit of soap just to wash the insides. Get the oils out. You want to use a soft cloth or the soft side of a sponge. You don't want to use an abrasive side of the sponge because it's gonna scratch the stainless steel. Okay. All right. So I just quickly rinse the Fiend filter because I'm gonna use it again. Once you're done rinsing, you want to take a towel. When it's dry, the different Fiend parts. Now this is really important. If you're using a Fiend filter back to back and you're washing it, it's really important that you dry all the different parts, especially the filter holes, because if you don't dry it, the water droplets can actually block the filter holes, and it can block the coffee from flowing through. So sometimes, if you find that you just washed your Fiend filter and you're trying to use it and it's not flowing and you know that your grind size is right, it's very possible that you didn't dry it well enough and that there are actually water droplets blocking the filter. So you want to make sure that the filter is dry. Okay, just real quick. Is the coconut coffee drink the most often served at Pho? No, actually, I want to say that the most popular coffee drink, Vietnamese iced coffee, is a Vietnamese coffee with sweetened condensed milk. That's a very, very common one. Okay, so I want to make sure that we dry the filter so that there are no water droplets blocking. All right, so the next drink we're going to make is the coconut coffee. This is our first drink. I'm going to set this down probably over here. Where can I put this? Can you see that? Okay. Actually, I'm gonna put this over here. All right. Next round. Another Fiend drip coffee for a coconut coffee. So once again, if you're just joining us, filter plate on top, brew chamber on top. I'm gonna get the water going over here. Turn the kettle on so it starts boiling. This is a 4-ounce brew chamber. So with any Fiend filter, you want to use a standard ratio of 1:2. So 1:2, meaning coffee to water. It is 4 ounces of water. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of coffee. Okay. We're gonna shake it out so that the coffee is even. Because when it's even, the water can distribute equally across the top and extract. The gravity press goes right on top. Justin, will there be more small lot coffees of like mocha? Yes, there will actually. The specialty coffee scene in Vietnam is really exciting right now. It's really evolving, and you know, a lot of farmers are experimenting with different varieties, different processing methods, including honey washed. We do have more mocha on the way. The harvest season just ended in January, and so we do have more mocha literally in transit. Awesome, great, okay. So my water just finished boiling. So we're again gonna add a little bit of water. You wanna cover the gravity press by about 1/2 inch. Let the coffee bloom. Now we're gonna go back to our coconut cream for the coconut coffee. So if you're just joining us, I just finished whisking the coconut milk that's from a can, because when it's from the can, there's a lot of coconut fat inside. So This we go. Now we're gonna build the coconut cream inside of a glass. So for the coconut coffee, you wanna use, this is a 2-ounce jigger. So it's gonna be first 1.5 ounces of coconut milk. Okay, oopsies, done whisking. Let's see, it's the easiest way to do this. So I have a jigger here, and we're gonna start with, oops, okay. Let me finish this off. Fill it all the way to the top. Okay. Hey everyone. All right, if you're just joining us, we are making a Vietnamese coconut coffee with coffee brewed through the Fiend Filter. All right, so while this is brewing, I'm actually gonna move our Fiend filters here to the side. Where can I put this? Okay. We're gonna place this glass here. What are we making? Well, if you're just joining us, we're making 3 different styles of Vietnamese coffee. This was the first one. It's a classic Fiend drip coffee over ice. So it's basically what you're seeing here, but I place ice in the glass so that when it drips right on top of the ice and it cools as it drips. So this is the first one. You can enjoy it with cream and sugar and milk, however you like. Now the second one, we just started the second Fiend drip coffee to make our coconut coffee. All right, so now in this glass, we're gonna build the coconut cream. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1.5 ounces of coconut milk. Let's see. All right, so coconut milk. I drink coffee every day, about 1 to 2 cups a day. This is my favorite blend. Did I just say that? I feel so bad. No, I mean, I love all of our blends equally, but this is my usual daily go-to. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I just added 1.5 ounces of organic unsweetened coconut milk to the glass. And again, you want to use the coconut milk in a can, not a carton, because it has all the natural coconut fats inside. So the next step is you want to add 1.5 ounces of milk to the glass. And also, if you're joining us, we have all these drink recipes on our website. If you miss any step, you can check us out on our website. Just go to the drink recipes tab. All right. You can use any milk choice that you want. You can use oat milk, almond milk. Today I'm going to use whole milk. So 1.5 ounces of whole milk in here. All right. And then the last step to the coconut cream base is sweetened condensed milk. Now, if you want to make it vegan, we do have a recipe for vegan condensed milk on our website, which is basically a combination of coconut milk and cane sugar or syrup. So now we're going to do 1.5 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. And of course, you can alter the sweetness, the levels, the quantities, the volume of sugar, depending on how sweet you like your coffee. All right, now we're gonna pour it in here. Whoop. This coconut cream base is super creamy and smooth and delicious, and it's already naturally sweet from the coconut milk, and so it already has a wonderful natural sweetness. And so when you add a little bit of coconut, add a little bit of sweetened condensed milk and sugar, it just makes it pop a little bit. But if you don't want to add, refined sugar or any additives, you can just keep it the natural coconut milk, and it already has a natural sweetness in there. All right. Is that a typo on the website? Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Method Monk. Alex, if you're still there, can you retype the website and the handle? Okay, so if you're just joining us, we just added 1.5 ounces of coconut milk from the can, 1.5 ounces of milk, and 1.5 ounces of sweetened condensed milk into our glass. If you only want to use condensed milk, thank you, Method Monk. Christina, if you only wanted to use condensed milk, how many ounces should you use? Let me pin this one. Christina, that is a great question. To be honest, people ask us all the time, like, how much sweetened condensed milk do we use or should I use? And it's really a subjective question and a subjective answer. It just depends on how sweet you like your coffee. Thank you, Method Monk. So, you know, if you're using fresh roasted coffee, we recommend starting on the lower side of your sweetened condensed milk, just so that you don't mask the flavors of the coffee and that you're really just complementing it with sweetened condensed milk. So you can start with something as little as like a half ounce or 1 ounce of coffee, or 7 to 14 grams of, 1 ounce or like a half ounce of sweetened condensed milk. Just add a little bit, right? And then mix it and then try it and then see if you need more or less. But unless you want a super, super sweet drink, you know, my recommendation would be to find the right combination and ratio of sweetened condensed milk to coffee that complements the flavors rather than mask the flavors of coffee. Okay. All right, so I'm mixing up the coconut cream. Now, I'm gonna check in on our Fiend Filter. All right. Oh, it's actually really close to being done. Okay. Yep, all right. All the water is gone, so our coffee is actually done. So now what you can do is, remember, the cap becomes a coaster, so you can just flip it. Bring this down, right? I'm gonna so the coffee is really hot because remember, this one was brewed over ice, so it's nice and chilled. But this one we brewed not over ice, so it's really hot. I don't know if you can see the seam. Really hot. So the coconut coffee is actually an iced drink as well. So when you're adding hot Fiend drip coffee into an iced drink, just be aware that it's gonna melt and dilute the coffee pretty fast. So what you can always do is you can cool your coffee in an ice bath, and I'll show you how to do that. If you don't care about that dilution, then you can just go ahead and just mix it. So how do you create a quick ice bath? Is you want to take some ice, grab some ice. You're gonna grab some ice and put it in here, and then add some water. So I just place some ice and water into this bowl, right? Ice and water into this bowl. And now I'm just gonna place, and just a little bit of water, not a lot, but I'm just gonna place my glass inside to cool it. Okay? You want to cool it? Okay. You can't really see what's happening, but basically I put some ice and water into this bowl. Just a little bit, maybe about 1.5 to 2 inches of water. It's not gonna cover the glass. It's only gonna cover the glass by about this much water. And I'm putting the glass inside just to cool the coffee a bit. All right, you can just stir it up to aerate it. Yay, thank you for ordering. Alrighty. So you do this for about a few minutes. The coffee's gonna cool pretty fast because it's immersed in a ice bath. Alright, if you have any questions about Vietnamese coffee, about our company, about the Fiend brewing method, feel free to leave a comment. Okay. Alright, I feel like that is, it's pretty cool. It's definitely not as hot, and so I think it's ready to put it all together. Right. So next step is we're gonna make the coconut coffee. And I'm gonna add, so this is a coconut cream base, which if you just joined us, it's 1.5 ounces of coconut milk, 1.5 ounces of milk, and 1.5 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. And now we're gonna add ice to the glass. Ice to my glass, as you can see. Light's a little bright. Okay. All right, and now we're gonna top it off with our coffee. Okay, ready? Here we go. Whoops, I probably put too much ice, but there we go. All right. Probably too much ice. Whoopsies. It's okay. All right. Now is gonna give it a little bit of a whirl. This is one of my favorite drinks. A coconut coffee. Coconut Vietnamese coffee is one of my favorite drinks. It's just so creamy and smooth, and the all natural coconut flavor with the Vietnamese Robusta, it just pairs together like a dream. Nice. I also want to mention it's really important that for all the recipes I'm making today, the coconut coffee and the egg coffee, it's really key that we're using Vietnamese Robusta beans because of the profile in Robusta beans. Robusta beans have 2 times more caffeine content, but also 60% less fats and 60% less sugars, which means it has a very, very nutty, bold, robust profile, which complements the egg cream and complements the coconut cream perfectly, right? So if you end up trying this recipe with maybe a more high acidic, fruity, floral coffee, you might end up liking it, but I just want to let you know that those flavor profiles may not complement the traditional method as well. So keep in mind, if you want to make a Vietnamese coconut coffee or a Vietnamese egg coffee, start with the Vietnamese Robusta coffee beans, because it's really not only the traditional experience, but also the flavors just naturally complement each other, really balance each other. Okay, so this is our coconut coffee. Look at that, beautiful. I'm gonna give it a drink. It's so late over here, I'm gonna be so wired. All right. Wow, oh my god. Just stole one of my favorite drinks. I just can't get over the coconut milk. Again, if you're making this, coconut milk from the can, not the carton, so you get all the coconut fat. All right, how are we doing, everyone? Wow. This is delicious. I can't have too much though because it's 5:30 here. All right, so we have about 20 minutes left in the program, and I'm gonna move on to our last drink of the evening, which is one of my favorites, and it can be a dessert, it can be a breakfast. It is a Vietnamese egg coffee. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna quickly clean the Fiend Filter. I like to keep the coffee grinds over here and then repurpose them somehow. Now, if you know, a great way to take care of your Fiend Filter is to wash it with a little soap and water using a soft towel or the soft side of a sponge. You don't want to use the rough side of a sponge because it's going to scratch the stainless steel. And coffee does have some natural oils in there, so a little bit of soap is going to help keep it clean. My name is Sahra Nguyen. Thank you for joining Matt. I'm the founder of Nguyen Coffee Supply. We are based in Brooklyn, New York. We are a specialty Vietnamese coffee company. We import via direct trade relationships with different coffee producers in Vietnam, and we roast right here in Brooklyn. Okay, all right. So we are moving on to our third and final drink of the evening, which is a Vietnamese egg coffee. Yeah, we just made 2 drinks. If you're just joining us, we just made 2 Vietnamese coffee drinks. The first one is a Fiend drip coffee over ice. Has a nice ice cube. This one is a coconut coffee. Bring it back a little bit. And now we're going to make a, do you get a coupon? That's a great question, Matt. I didn't have them prepared, but if you go to our website, you will automatically get offered a coupon with a pop-up. And if that doesn't pop up for you for some reason, if you go to our Instagram and you go to our highlights, there is a way for you to get 10% off your first order. So find us on Instagram. Yes, okay. All right, we're moving on to the Vietnamese egg coffee. So let me know if you can find the discount code Matt either through the pop-up on our website or in the highlights section of our Instagram page. Okay, so for our final drink, we are gonna be making it's really good. The coconut coffee is really good. I wish you could try it. We are making a egg coffee. Gotta clean up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna time, the egg coffee. I'm gonna make sure we have some water going on the side. Add some more water in here. Let me know if you have any questions about our company, Nguyen Coffee Supply, or about Vietnamese coffee culture, about the Fiend brewing method. Okay, I'm gonna get the water boiling over here. If you are just joining us, I'm gonna walk us through the Fiend brewing method one more time. Is that a peach? Interesting. Okay. All right. Keep this clean. All right. Okay, so for this last part, we're gonna need eggs and sweetened condensed milk and Vietnamese Robusta coffee. This is Robusta. This is 100% Robusta. This is probably going to be the ideal coffee partner for a Vietnamese egg coffee. If you want it a little bit less strong, you can try it with Loyalty, which is a blend of Arabica and Robusta. And you're going to need an electric whisk to make the egg cream. We are sourcing from the lot right now. Okay. All right, so one more time, I'm gonna walk you through the Fiend Filter and the Fiend brewing method one more time. If you wanna learn more about, where our coffee is sourced, you can visit us on our website. We have a lot of information about who our coffee partner is and also how we roast our coffee. Okay, so this is a 4-ounce Fiend Filter. A standard rule of thumb, is that a product for beard? A standard rule of thumb with the Fiend Filter, or a standard ratio, is 1:2 ratio. So this is a 4-ounce Fiend Filter. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of coffee. Oh yay, thank you so much for ordering. All right, this is the filter plate. It goes right on top. And what I love about the Fiend Filter is that there is no paper filter required. So there's no paper waste when you're making coffee every day. So I'm just drying the Fiend Filter really well, because if you're using your Fiend Filter and you just washed it, if you don't dry, you want to dry it really well so that the water droplets don't block the filter holes. If you find that your Fiend Filter isn't dripping, then it might be because there's some water droplets blocking the holes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? It's so cool. Okay, if you have any questions about our coffee or about our company, Nguyen Coffee Supply, feel free to drop in the comments. I'll take a look. Not today, we're not making tea today, but maybe you can request it on the next IG Live. All right, so again, this is a 4-ounce Fiend Filter, so we're gonna do a ratio of 1:2, meaning we're gonna do 2 tablespoons since it is a 4-ounce chamber. 1, 2, okay. You want to shake it out. There was a question in here. Why is Robusta beans traditionally used in Vietnamese coffee? Because Vietnam is the #1 producer of Robusta coffee beans. So Robusta coffee is naturally a huge part of Vietnamese coffee culture. Thank you for reporting the trolls. This is a safe space, safe and inclusive space only, please. All right, so you want to shake out the coffee grind so that it's nice and even. Because if it's not even and there are slopes on the sides, when you pour in the hot water, all the water is going to fall down the side of the coffee and drip through the sides, which means it's not gonna get an even extraction of all the coffee. All right, this is the gravity press. It goes right on top. Okay. Our coffee just finished boiling. This is our last drink for the evening. Whoopsies. I wanna make sure I'm not missing any mess. Okay. This is our last drink for the evening. We have about 15 more minutes. All right, I'm gonna pour this in. We wanna cover the gravity press by about 1/2 inch for it to bloom first. While this is going, we're gonna start on our egg cream. All right, so for the egg cream, it's really simple. It's just 2 egg yolks and 3 tablespoons of condensed milk, but of course you can adjust that how you feel fit. So again, we have this recipe on our website, so if you missed anything, check us out. So we're gonna start with 2 egg yolks, right? So 2 egg yolks is a perfect serving for one. I'm just gonna crack this egg and just separate the egg yolks. Whoopsies. Okay. I know there are a lot of chefs watching, so hopefully I'm doing this right. You wanna separate the egg yolk from the egg whites, and you want to use, for a single serving, it's 2 egg yolks. All right. If you want to make Viennese coffee for more than one person, I would recommend, will they be more coffees? Yeah, we're definitely working on, thank you so much, Matt, for joining. We're definitely working on more coffee offerings for sure in the future. Different roast profiles, different blends, lots of exciting products in the pipeline. All right, so right now I'm separating the egg yolk. Because I'm gonna make coffee, I'm gonna make 2 servings, I'm gonna use 4 egg yolks, all right? But if you wanna make just 1 serving, I would recommend 2 egg yolks. Right now I'm separating the egg yolk for our Vietnamese egg coffee. All right. And we do have these recipes on our website. I'm not really good at this egg yolk thing. I think I got most of it. Great. All right, so I just separated 4 egg yolks because I'm making 2 servings. If you're just making 1 serving, I recommend just doing 2 egg yolks. And then I'm gonna add hot water all the way to the top to let our Fiend coffee continue to brew. All right. And it's really important that while you're making the Viennese egg coffee that the coffee stays really hot. So you wanna time it so they finish at the same time. All right, so I'm making 2 servings of the Vietnamese egg coffee. And so I started with 4 egg yolks. And the next step is 6 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. This is a 2-ounce jigger. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Where's my tablespoon? Where's my tablespoon? All right. So we're gonna do 6 tablespoons. So again, the quantities are 2 egg yolks and 3 tablespoons, or 4 egg yolks and 6 tablespoons. And of course, you can always adjust the level of sweetened condensed milk or sugar depending on how sweet you like it. I know I said 6 tablespoons, but I'm actually gonna stop at 5 because I don't want it too sweet. So feel free to modify the recipe to meet your preference. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. Okay. All right, where was I? If you want it really sweet, add 6 tablespoons of coffee. You can also add another teaspoon of sugar. All right, so now we're gonna use an electric whisk, and you wanna blend the coffee cream so it's really light and fluffy. You wanna aerate it so that it sits on top of the glass. Let's see. I'm just gonna do it over here so it doesn't spill. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but we are whisking. We're whisking for quite a while. You want to get it really coffee. Alright, so I whisked for about maybe a minute. I'm going to show you all a trick on how to test if your egg cream is ready. Alright? Let's see. Justin, do I prefer natural wash? I don't have a preference. It just depends on, you know, what the coffee is and what flavors we're trying to bring out. Okay. So I'm going to show you really quick. A good way to test your egg cream is you want to just get a glass of water. Just get a glass of water, and you could just drop, just plop a drop of the egg cream inside to see if it floats or sinks. And if it floats, then there's enough air in there, and you know it's ready for the egg coffee. If it sinks and it's too dense, you need to keep whisking it. All right, let's see. Float or sink? It's floating. I don't know if you can see that, but it is floating, which is great. But actually you want to keep whisking it. So I'm gonna let it sit for a little while. We know that it's ready, it's almost ready, but you can just keep in mind that as you let it sit, the bubbles are gonna go away. So you want to kind of re-whisk it later. All right, so right now I'm gonna check in on our coffee. I'm just gonna give it a little assist. I'm gonna lift this up to release some of the pressure, and it's gonna keep dripping. Great. So we do have a few more minutes. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes. Are there any other questions people wanna talk about Vietnamese coffee culture, Fiend brewing method? Thank you so much, Fat Cat Chef. Fat Cat Chef, where are you joining us from? What city? All right, so it is time check. It is 5:52. We're gonna wrap this program in about 8 minutes. Our coffee is more than halfway done. So once it's done brewing, we're gonna put it all together. Sometimes you may find that, you know, with really fresh roasted coffee, it can create a suction experience in the Fiend brewing method, because what's happening is you're getting opposite forces. You're getting the degassing of the fresh coffee going up. You're getting the pressure and the gravity of the gravity press and the water going down. So when that happens is it creates a suction, because the coffee is degassing and then the water is being pulled down by gravity. So it can create a bit of a suction, which can kind of like, stop the coffee from dripping. So you find that there's a suction, just give it a quick lift, and it's gonna release the pressure, and it's gonna finish dripping. All right, so our coffee is just maybe like 30 seconds away from being done. So what we're gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna give this one more whisk just to get it really, 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 really airy. All right, I'm gonna do it in the sink so it doesn't just. Is there a New Year's cafe coming? Good question. Is there? If you're just joining, I'm whisking. I'm just whisking the egg cream right now. Almost done. We're just whisking the egg cream. We want to get it nice and fluffy. All right. So our Fiend drip coffee actually just finished, so it's perfect timing. And the cap becomes a coaster. Is it coffee? All right, cap becomes a coaster. We're gonna pop it on top. And now I'm just going to, here, add the egg cream to the top. Wow, oh my God. And remember I made 2 servings, so I'm gonna stop right there. Wow, oh, this looks so good. All right, I don't want to, it's kind of bright, but I wish I could bring it closer. Can you all see that? Look how beautiful the egg cream sits on top, right? Because you want to whisk it up really, really well so it's nice and airy. And it should sit right on top of the coffee. And you want to time the Fiend brewing and the egg cream so that the coffee is still really hot by the time you add the egg cream, so it just kind of cooks a little bit. All right, can I describe it? Okay, the texture. This is true. Oh my God, the texture. Yeah, let's see. It's definitely really, really creamy because remember, it's egg yolks and sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, beautiful, right? Mmm. Wow. It's not as foamy as it looks. It's actually really creamy. And it's sweet and it's creamy. And then the Robusta coffee beans, which is really nutty and bold, just complements the sweet, creamy texture really, really well. Mmm. That is delicious. All right, everyone. So that is my Vietnamese coffee in 3 ways. And this one's kind of melted, but this was Fiend brewing over ice. So you want to add icy glass and then pop the Fiend filter on top. A nice classic drink. This is our coconut coffee. And, whoopsies. And this is our egg cream coffee. So you can actually find all of these recipes on our website. It's pinned right here. And yeah, so this is Vietnamese coffee 3 ways. Please follow us on Instagram. We have so many more tutorials and recipes on our Instagram, and all of these recipes are also available on our website. You can purchase our coffee, all 3 of them, and also our Fiend filters, also on our website. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out, and also thank you so much to the James Beard Foundation for sharing this platform with me and allowing me to share one of my favorite things in the world, Vietnamese coffee. So I wish you all a good evening and wish you all happy and healthy. Cheers, everyone. Which one should I drink? Cheers. 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 Stay safe.